Hi, tutorial on Visual Basic 2010 Express. Today I will show you basic program without using any components of the toolbox. We will just use simple form. A simple program that will display some kind of message. What we do is get started. We just, as you can see, I created already my form and project. So I go ahead and click it here to have a code. This is form load code, and to display message we simply do msg message box, and then in both brackets we add quotation marks and we input some kind of message. For example, so this is actually it. When I play it and I run this, I will display hello world. The phone here, I need this. So we have as many as we want, so I can do, for example, another one, message box, and add something else. So this will display hello world and how are you, two different message boxes. And for example, yeah, what else can I show you? This is the basic program. We can also have the input box. So input box, you have it here, and for example you can input value or something like this, and the message for the user, input it here. So we have some kind of message. Let's check if this works. Hello world, how are you? Please input value. So for example 34, and I click OK, and then something will happen because I haven't added any code to it, so nothing happens. And this is the basic. This is the message box, so this is output, this is the input. Here I have two statements. You can play with it if you want. This is the most basic part. We can also what else we can also do here? So for example, we can, with this box, you can use, for example, passwords and stuff like this. You can do many stuff. With message boxes we can print message when, for example, user inputs wrong value. I will not show you if statements today, but I will show you how each control works. So I will go to form, and for example button, how is it working? The button, when you click it, some kind of action will happen, so it's event driven. It will execute the event depending on our code, and I'll probably see it in some kind of label. So we could have label, and we could have, for example, text box, let's say. So we could have three three of those. Yeah, let me change properties of the label. So text, non-text, I will say none, just empty. I will also need to change the border style to look like, proper one, and I need to change the auto size to false, because I don't know, the false I mean the auto size is always selected as true, and I don't know why they do it. It just, take your time to just change it all the time. And let's say this is calculate. So for example, if I enter a number here, I press it, you can see it. So if I enter a number here, 34, and I press this button, I want to display, for example, addition operation to this number. So I add this number, for example, twice. So I add this number plus this number, so it's like times 2. But with no code, actually I can do it. Yeah. So what I need to do is write it here. We will have we have variables here. We will also have if statement probably or something like this for evaluation. And what it means is, depending on the for example, if you put non-numeric non-numeric inputs like a character, for example a, well, that wouldn't work. So we could, for example, set some kind of message using the message I just showed you, and say user that, and tell the user that the input is invalid and you need to input the character, and I will go to this one, and you can input your value and then calculate your result. This all will be shown in next tutorial. This one is just to show you basic, really basic stuff, just we can print out anything without buttons, stuff like this. We can just use MSG message box, that's it, and we can print something out. That's how it works. And this will be printed as I showed you. So this is the basic use of it, but we will use it sometimes, the message box and input boxes. Sometimes, for example, for passwords, for outputting message for a user when something is wrong, stuff like this. So that's probably it for this tutorial. Sorry. That's probably it for this tutorial, because I don't want to confuse you with the code yet. Just hang around with this program, check the labels, stuff like this, play around with this code, and do some kind of, I don't know, check the properties of this, get along with them. They will help you a lot in the next tutorials. So yeah, that's probably it. Just visit my webpage for more info. Sorry about the noise spots again. And I will see you next tutorial. Bye.